What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only. But what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Sebastian Fundora in the news. Xander Zayas in the news. Sebastian Fundora, former, I guess I have to say now, former unified champion at 154, has now vacated the WBO title, and instead is going to take a rematch with Tim Tszyu. Now I'm gonna get into the article. And well, I already read the article, but I was gonna wait till afterwards. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this first. I think this is a business move. I'll tell you if I think it's a duck or not after the article, but I think this is a business move. Why? I'm gonna explain. Well, it's simple. Xander Zayas is not signed to the PBC, right? He's with Top Rank. If PBC wants to, I think PBC wants to do it to where they have an in-house fight. And for those that don't know what that term means, an in-house fight is like, say for example, if you're signed with PBC, they would rather have you fight another PBC fighter than to have to do business with an outside promotional company. Top Rank is known for doing that. You know, pretty much a lot of people are known to do that. Actually, to be honest, every promotional company is like that to a degree. Now, some are willing to work more than others, but you know, every promotional company is like that to a degree. And in business wise, I mean, I can understand why you want to keep the money in house. So I definitely believe what's going on is, I believe the PBC pretty much told Sebastian Fundora, like, hey, go ahead and vacate that, and you can go ahead and get a rematch with Tim Tszyu, and that way, you know, we keep the money, you know, in house rather than have to work with Top Rank. I just think that's what was going on. But anyways, let me go ahead and get into the article, and then I will tell you if I think it's a duck or not. All right, so shout out to ringmagazine.com. It says Tim Tszyu exercised rematch clause to face Sebastian Fundora title this summer. All right, so it says Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu are set for a WBC junior welterweight title rematch this summer in the U.S. Sources tell the Ring Magazine. One option in play is July 19th in Las Vegas. A rescheduled fight between Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu was planned for this summer in Australia before Tim Tszyu exercised his rematch clause to enforce a contracted return bout with Fundora. Now, that's the thing that confuses me because, bro, and maybe somebody can refresh my memory, but I've never known a person to be able to exercise a rematch clause after a year has passed by. And it's been a year since that last fight. I believe they fought March of last year. I've never known that to even be possible. I thought that you only have a year to exercise your rematch clause before it then expires or whatnot. And then on top of that, he took a fight and he had two fights after that and lost one, and was able to win his last fight. But I don't know, I've never known that to happen. But again, hey, that's the name of the channel, but what do I know? It says Thurman sources said will now land a title shot at the winner of Fundora Tim Tszyu's rematch per PBC's plan. That rematch clause could be triggered before or after Fundora's first title defense. That took place last month when that rematch clause could be triggered before or after. Okay, whatever. Excuse me. That took place last month when Fundora stopped Cordell Booker in the fourth round of a routine title defense. Fundora, who has the record of 22-1 with 14 knockouts, will vacate his WBO title ahead of Friday's scheduled purse bid for a mandatory defense against Xander Zayas, sources say. Zayas will now be ordered to fight Jorge Garcia in the next available contender for the vacant WBO title. The Mexican is coming off of a major upset. Wait, that's crazy. Look, that just shows you how big. I did not know Charles Conwell lost, bro. That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow, this is news to me. That just shows you how I've just been so busy with stuff, man. I knew Charles Conwell was fighting, but I didn't know he lost, man. But anyways, The Mexican is coming off of a major upset win over Charles Conwell earlier this month. Fundora was originally lined up to fight a high-profile fight with former champion Errol Spence that was repeatedly delayed and ultimately canceled. The 27-year-old American scored a major upset last March when he defeated Tim Tszyu by split decision in one of 2024's best action fights. Fundora had accepted the fight on short notice after Thurman suffered a torn bicep. Tszyu, who has the record of 25-2 with 18 knockouts, was affected throughout the bout by a gruesome cut on his forehead that covered his face in blood and impacted his vision. The 30-year-old Australian had to contend with the towering Inferno's dizzying 6'5.5" in height and 80-inch in reach. Tszyu landed a title shot coming off of the loss and was upset yet again. This time via third round TKO. That's who did it. That's who did it. I was just talking to my homeboy. I think it was Sunday about because they were talking about how who was it that just lost and who lost and fought for a title. Gary Antoine Russell, and I was saying, like, you know, that's not uncommon for PBC to do. PBC is known to make that happen. You know, Adrian Broner lost to Sean Porter, came back and fought for a title at 140, and yeah, Tim Tszyu lost to Fundora, and then he lost the title shot, but he had a title shot again against the IBF Barakum. But anyways, Tszyu landed a title shot coming off of a loss and was upset yet again, this time via third round TKO versus Barakum in October in Orlando, Florida. Tszyu returned to winning ways by a fourth round TKO Joey Spencer earlier this month in Australia. Boxing Scene first reported the news of Fundora Tszyu rematch. So that's that's crazy, and it says right here, Xander Zayas fights Jorge Garcia Perez for a vacant WBO title as Sebastian Fundora prioritizes rematch with Tim Tszyu. Sebastian Fundora will be vacating his WBO title. This is BoxingNews247.com. It says Sebastian Fundora will be vacating his WBO 154 title instead of defending it against mandatory Xander Zayas. Fundora, who has the record of 21-1 with 14 knockouts, will instead defend his remaining WBC junior middleweight title against Tim Tszyu in a rematch this summer. A purse bid is scheduled for this Friday for Fundora and Zayas. That's not happening now. Fans on social media are saying Fundora dug Zayas because it would have been a difficult fight for him due to his defensive fighting style. Zayas has a defensive? Okay, wow. For him due to this is a business move for Sebastian Fundora. He can make more money. I'm gonna tell you why it's a business move, but I'll get to that. He can make more money from from pay-per-view sales from the Australian market, fighting the WBO 100, the former WBO 154-pound champion Tim Tszyu again. Then he can against Zayas. Zayas, who has the record of 21-0 with 13 knockouts, will fight number 2 Jorge Perez for the vacant WBO title. That's a better matchup than top-ranked promoted. That's a better matchup for the top-ranked promoter Zayas than if he were to have to fight Fundora. It still is not a walk in the park because, yeah, we already saw that he beat Charles Conwell, top-ranked, doesn't mind that. So let me see. It's pretty much not telling us anything else. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you my opinion. All right, so definitely want to give a major shout out to both fighters. I mean, that would have been an interesting matchup. Xander Zayas and Sebastian Fundora. I'm not all the way sold on Xander Zayas yet. I haven't seen him really, in there with somebody that's that I feel like can push him, and shout out to him because he's doing everything he's supposed to do. But do I feel like it's a duck? No. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't think that this is a duck. You guys know my rules, right? And the rules are like, if you're fighting somebody that's even more dangerous or dangerous as the person that you're supposed, or people may perceive you as ducking, or a fight that's offered to you, I don't think that that's a duck. And I think that Tim Tszyu for Sebastian Fundora is a dangerous fight. I definitely feel like Tim Tszyu was going to beat Sebastian Fundora until, obviously the nasty gash that that was on the head of Tim Tszyu. So I think, and so I think this is a very interesting fight. I think this is a very dangerous fight. I think this is a fight that does not need to be on pay-per-view again, but I do feel like this is a very interesting fight, and I'm looking forward to it or whatnot, right? Truth be told, like, we don't know how dangerous Xander Zayas is yet. I mean, yeah, he passed the eye test, of course, but we haven't really seen him in there with elite competition yet, so we really don't know how good Xander Zayas is. So I don't, and honestly speaking, though Xander Zayas looks good against the people that he's fighting, I don't think that he's like viewed as an unbeatable guy. When Triple G came up, like, people who was viewing Triple G is pretty much unbeatable, because it's like we didn't know. It just looked like next to impossible. Like, you didn't know how, you didn't see no weaknesses in him. I don't see that with Xander Zayas, and that's not to say that he's not on that level. We just don't know. And so, with that being said, I mean, I almost can't even say it's. Well, yeah, I guess you can say it's. Well, I don't even want to say high risk, low reward, because it's. I don't know who will win that fight with him. I mean, I think that fundamentally, Xander is the better fighter, but you just don't know. You know how he would fare up against somebody who I would see as 50-50 competition with him. So I don't know. I mean, and then on top of that, like, who's to say that Xander is better than Tim Tszyu? Like, we don't know yet. All of those are good fights, are really good fights. So it's like, I'm not really gonna. I mean, I know a lot of people are gonna automatically assume that Xander or Sebastian Fundora is ducking Xander Zayas, just because a lot of people don't like the PBC anyways. But just truth be told, I mean, I don't consider it a duck. As a matter of fact, if I'm being honest with you, I think personally, if Tim Tszyu, and I like Tim Tszyu, I do, but his style and how he fights, I'm not sold on him. It doesn't look like the Bachman fight just put that much damage on him. But I would say I would favor Tim Tszyu to actually beat Sebastian Fundora in the rematch. Just solely based off the fact that I thought Sebastian Fundora only won that fight just due to the blood that was coming out of Tim Tszyu's head. So, it's many things to factor in. I think that, but I think that this is going to be a great rematch or whatnot, and I think it's a necessary rematch. I just, I didn't think that it was possible for somebody to exercise a rematch clause after a year. But it is definitely necessary. I think that Tim Tszyu deserves a shot at his titles back or whatnot. But man, good luck, bro. I don't see him unifying, because the way Bachram beat dude, bro. Bachram is a silent but deadly guy, bro. He's been waiting in the cut for his IBF title shot. It's gonna take somebody, like, really, really good to beat him, and there's so many names at 154 pounds. Like, I'm eager to see Virgil Ortiz has impressed me the most so far after his victory against Israel Madrimov. But it's not a lot of popular fighters, but that to me is 154 is the most dangerous division. But that's just my take on it. If you know boxing, you know why I say that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Who do you see winning the rematch, and where do you want to see each fighter go? But what do I know?